slowly. I guess this is why I got burnt out on this game. It takes too long. They want you to play through the whole thing again. The problem is you can like plateau on gear really quickly, and then you're kind of just not really getting much progress. I can't talk right now. I've had a really rough day. I'm not feeling well mentally. Just gonna try to chip away at this the next few days. Let's get through these ones at least. He's just gonna run to the boss. Play some One Piece while I wait. Plus, with the new DLC coming out in like 5 days, there's no point in grinding gear anymore. Because every time they put out a new difficulty in this game, it's a massive power creep. Which isn't a bad thing. The gear gets more interesting as you go along. This game does gear better than like Avengers, for instance. But when a new DLC is coming out, it's kind of just better to just make do with what you have. And don't put any more effort into it, especially when you have like this little time, like less than a week. But I optimized my build pretty good before I stopped. Yeah, and also my stress levels have been really high lately, so it doesn't really mix well with a game like this, which is designed to piss you off. I haven't felt like playing it. I know that's the better choice than being pissed off at something I actually have control over. So a lot of the things I'm pissed off about I have no control over. But playing a game like this when I'm not feeling well mentally is something I do have control over, so I'm gonna have to scale this game back a bit. Which is fine. A lot of people spent like hundreds of hours on their gear, and just from my experience with other action MMOs and stuff, and this isn't really an action MMO. It's more of a game with a finite amount of post-launch support. Like the power creep in this game is really crazy. It's just that since it's it's only being supported for like a year, it doesn't really matter. But you generally don't want to spend too much time maximizing stuff until the game's done, or you're at least on the final difficulty. As long as you have some semblance of a build, you're relatively okay, unless you're trying to do, like, flex videos, which I don't care to do those. This difficulty did not introduce ethereals, so gearing up the power creep was less interesting. But the next one is going to introduce ethereals, so there's going to be new sets as well. There's going to be new secret moves. Hopefully it's a little bit bigger than this DLC. This DLC didn't really take that long to get through, which is kind of a blessing and a curse, really. DLC in the first game was brutal. This felt like way more manageable. This game is better balanced overall. Less artificial difficulty. Hate these fuckers. Stop spamming that. I'm getting annoyed already. I'm just trying to get through this damn completion bar. It takes too damn long. I just want to be able to do the new DLC as soon as it releases. But I got so burnt out because the completion bar takes so damn long to fill. I just got burnt out and tired of playing. I hope they do what they did with the first game and they make it so that when they add the new difficulty, it takes a lot less time to get up to the next one. I spent a ton of time on my build, so I mean that part's fine. It's just doing this. Yeah, I've had an overlay for a while. I have a really good graphic artist who makes things for me. What's the size of the box? What do you mean? I actually couldn't tell you. I didn't make it. I have someone I know personally who's like my personal graphic artist. I pay for the art to be done. So I can't draw. I can't do graphic art. I can do like editing and commentary and making content and stuff, and I'm good at those things. But anything artistic, I just can't do. They make art for me. I wanted to get something done for my 15th anniversary, but we've both been busy and stressed out. It just hasn't been feasible. Can always get done later though. But yeah, all my art is made by the same person, and they do a really good job, as you can see. really think overlays are necessary unless you're doing stream bots like I do. They're kind of more necessary now because Twitch doesn't save chat replays for very long, so if you have the chat on your overlay, then that prevents it from being a scenario like a lot of really famous clips and stuff on here. The chat isn't saved anymore, the highlights. So whatever was funny or informative about that clip involved someone else talking besides the streamer, and yeah, you can't see it anymore. I don't know why they removed that. Sometimes what's funny is the chat interaction, not whatever the streamer is doing. I think the problem with... It's not like I really need to get carried. I'm decent at this game. It's just it takes so long. I get kind of frustrated. Like, they really want you to do the whole game over again. Actually, let's not do that one. And a lot of the people that are still playing are all like the hardcores. And they don't optimize their gear. So it takes longer. There's also a fuck ton of scaling in this game too. That PS Plus is probably going to expire. I'll have to pay for that again. I don't want to. I hate paying for PS Plus. It's fucking rip-offs. And you don't even have servers. It's all peer-to-peer. Like, what the fuck am I paying for? I don't care about the free games. That's why I buy it at, like, the absolute minimum price off CD keys. Because I'm a PC gamer and I don't have to pay for online there. Surprised this is not on. It's not on PC yet. I heard the rumors that it's supposed to be November, but I think if it was, they would have said something by now. The first game, it was like when the game was pretty much support was being dropped, but seems like at the rate they're going, the DLC's taking longer to come out than they thought. They might not do that this time. A lot of people are really clamoring for it. I hate the frame rate on this version. It's really shitty, especially when you have like 3 people. It's a slideshow. It starts like running in stop motion and eating your inputs, which in a game like this is not good. I hope they put it on PC soon. Oh, the Nioh 1 port was really bad, actually. Very poorly optimized. level with the giant skeleton could like cause your PC to like borderline overheat. Of course. Stupid ass fucking jump scares. Hate that about this fucking game. I just want to get done with this. I've already done this like 3 times. They need to make it faster and get to the next difficulty. Go away. I'm not in the mood to play this right now. There's a lot of levels in this game really fucking piss me off. That castle boss is fucking garbage, so is that stupid golem. The big cow spider thing is shit too. I don't want to ever do those again, but it's like they force you to. Stop making shitty bosses like that. Gimmick bosses that no one likes. Thought they would have learned their lesson with the first game. That game had a lot of dumb bosses too. The best ones are the humanoids. I don't feel like playing this right now. This game's too fucking frustrating and annoying. I'm not in the mood. I don't know how much of this I can take today. I'm really not feeling well mentally. That's why I can't play this game that much. It gets me too frustrated. I get really annoyed and angry. So this game is fun and co-op. Sometimes it just really gets on my nerves. And lately I haven't been feeling well mentally at all. I hide it a lot, but I felt like straight garbage for months now. I had some things happen a couple days ago that had me down. Sometimes playing this game just makes it worse. I get really frame rate's fucking garbage too. 60 FPS my ass. I need to put this on PC already. PS4 sucks balls. Worst console. Can't even play this in co-op with like an acceptable frame rate. It's like 60 FPS when you're looking at the ground and there's no enemies. I'm watching the Memory of Heroes trailer. They just put up gameplay of double Swords a couple minutes ago, so I'm watching it. He's just running to the boss, so I'm just trying to get this done. Neither of us have anything to prove in this game. Let's just try to get this shit done. Check out the new stuff on, I think it's Thursday. He's actually doing like form change combos and shit. This is actually like not maxed out game. Maybe get more stamina later on or something. It looks pretty limiting though, like everything runs off that bar.
これに生も死も関係ない。永遠の地獄を楽しむだけ。
バンダイナムコ
I already paid for Kamen Rider, so I'm excited for that. It actually looks like a pretty legit character action game. I don't know who's actually making it. I don't know if it's Aiding. I don't think Aiding makes much anymore. It seems like they know their stuff. They haven't shown much. Oh, go away from the spider. Only thing I don't like about that Kamen Rider game is it seems like, I don't know if it's just the way they're recording or not. I haven't seen anybody stream it, play it at 60 FPS. I hope it's not something gross like 30. Then again, this game is never 60 FPS anyway. At least not in a party. The only time it ever really maintains that is when you're not in a party. A lot of the problem is the particle effects. Even on the PC port of the first one, the particle effects really bogged things down. There were certain levels that had a lot of the yokai portals, the pools or whatever you want to call them. Like, those would completely kill the frame rate. I'm surprised the action mode does not, like, reduce the particle effects. I think that's what messes with the performance the most. Trying to find their TGS clip. I want to see if that was in 60 FPS. No, they don't even put their stuff up in 60 FPS. Oh well, I guess I'll be the guinea pig like always.
あたいはこういうのあんま
Find out
り
firsthand
得意じゃ
how
ない
awful
か
it
ら
is.
さじゃ行こうか
Alright, I wish this was not console exclusive. I would not bother playing this on PS4.
まだまだ
Fucking A, man. I'm getting annoyed with this game. I just can't play Nioh right now. I'm like kind of I'm not feeling well mentally. The game has a habit of making my mood worse. Somebody else who can go through it faster is gonna help. Still like 5 days to do it. It's not like it's gonna take that long. Just get someone that knows the game better than I do. It'll be fine.
Let's go. Come on. I'll take you all out.
Oh, this frame rate. So disgusting. I can't play this. I'm gonna get sick. I wish I had not bought that on PS4. I really do. These videos I've watched must have been on like the Pro or something and they didn't say it. That game legit makes me nauseous. At least, console that's not such garbage is on the way in a month, if you could find one. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think I'll probably end up with one, maybe within the launch window. I'm more interested in the backwards compatibility right now. There's actually it's going to sound like an oxymoron saying this, but there was a really good Polygon article about backwards compatibility on the Xbox Series X. The person went back and played the first Crackdown, which is actually one of the most fun I've had. Some of the most fun I've had playing in an open world game, and he said it ran at like 60 FPS locked, and there was no load times. That's kind of interesting me more than than the games. So the game lineup is honestly pretty paltry. They don't have a whole lot. I think a lot of games that run really badly are going to be a lot better to play. And I think that's actually pretty exciting because a lot of PS4 games are uncapped frame rate. So if they are backwards compatible, then that basically means that they'll run better without the developer needing to touch them up. I don't see many people talking about that. It's like that's more interesting than the game lineup. The game lineup's kind of paltry. They don't have much. I think a lot of the stuff that they were supposed to have at launch got pushed back. The Godfall game looks decent, but I don't know. It also looks janky. I also bought Avengers, and that game is a mess. I don't know if I ever want to buy a Western character action game ever again. That game's situation has gotten so bad. It dropped under 1,000 players on PC, and the matchmaking still does not work. It's been like almost a month. The matchmaking's still broken. It's like they're doing their best to make sure that game dies, which is a shame because the combat's actually quite good. At least for a Western game. I know that sets the bar very low, but I think that game has a ton of potential, but they ruined any momentum they had. They released it when there was nothing else coming out. You know, the new consoles aren't out, and then Cyberpunk, all those other big games, Call of Duty and stuff, is going to be taking up people's time and money. They had the perfect launch window to build an audience and get people hooked, but there's just way too many glitches. I would not be surprised if they just quietly drop support after like Spider-Man comes out in March. It seems like that's what's going to happen, which is a shame. But that's what happens when you release a broken game. People don't have patience for that shit anymore, and for good reason. There's plenty of other functional games from like indie developers that are more functional than Avengers right now for like half the price or less. You can't expect people to wait around twiddling their thumbs forever for something that might be better later. You can play something that actually works now. There was supposed to be a stream for this today, and I guess there was supposed to be an update because they update bi-weekly, and there's been nothing. Is this game dying too? A lot of people really hate the card system update. A lot of us were hoping there'd be some changes or some new content or something, but there's nothing right now. I think I'm just gonna do my dailies and get off here, honestly. Play something else. What's up, Rico? How you doing, man? Yeah, a lot of events ended today, and there's like been no update. I wonder what's going on. Probably realized they screwed up. Pissed off the whales. You piss off the whales, you're done. Piss off dolphins like me, not that big a deal. You piss off the whales, then how much hope do you have left at that point? I still have not heard back about my Onichanbara origin key. I really hope I get it. I was really enjoying that game, but the frame rate is fucking unacceptably bad. I can't play stuff like that anymore. It actually makes me sick to my stomach. They need to do something about that. So I'm kind of like saving money. In case I don't get the key, I can still grab it on release day. I have not had a good experience with the PS4. I know I say this a lot, but I think out of all the consoles I've had in like 30 years of gaming, PS4 is the one I've been disappointed with the most. It's Sony's. It's not the developer's fault in most cases. A lot of times it's Sony's fault because they cheaped out on the CPU. A lot of the stuff I play is Muso games and stuff, and those are very CPU bound just by nature. So when you combine like Japanese developers being bad at optimization, then a really weak CPU, it's just a recipe for disaster. There's not much that can be done about it, really. That's why I'm glad the next generation is on the way. I like the convenience of console gaming. It's just, I feel like this generation is a little bit misleading. It wasn't as much of a leap as they were saying it was. I think it could have been, but too many problems. Which is weird because they actually sell consoles at a loss. Like, I know Sony and Microsoft do that. They actually lose money every time they make a console. But because attach rates are so high, they make their money back by having you in their ecosystem. You know, when there's like games on sale for $10 every week, they make that money back just by having you in their ecosystem. But for whatever reason with the PS4 and the Xbox One, they just didn't want to cough up the money for better components. Which is why a lot of the stuff that they're putting out now is like really ambitious and cool, but it just doesn't run very well. Really glad the next generation is going to have more of a focus on performance. I don't think the graphical enhancements, the improvements are going to be that noticeable. But when you see stuff running at like 120 FPS all the time, or at least 60 FPS locked, it's hard to not notice. That's what I'm excited for, personally. Even though as a PC gamer, I'm going to have to spend a ton of money to be on par with consoles, but that's something that I willingly accept. That's just the reality of being a PC gamer. Yeah, I hope they declone some people too, Scrat. I think if they don't, I won't bother with that game at all, as I can't stand Empires. Empires is just boring filler crap to me. Like, I just want to fight. I don't want to manage a fucking kingdom or whatever you do in those games. I so don't care about that. The only thing that any value of that would be for me is just if they declone people or like mildly improve the combat system, make it less repetitive, more moves, and not so many clones. I would at least just play it for that and then shelve it. That's as far as I'd go. I've never cared for the Empires games. They feel kind of pointless to me. It's like if you want strategy, you could play like Shogun Total War or something, which even has, you know, Three Kingdoms version. Same characters, they look different, but you could get a much better strategic experience there. I don't really need that in my Muso game. It's like the people who want combat don't want the strategic stuff either, and I never really understood who the Empire's games are for. It's trying to do two very different things, and it's very hard to do both of them well. That's kind of the main issue. Trying to be strategic and then like a fast-paced 3D beat 'em up at the same time. There's not a lot of crossover. I think that's why Empire's games don't sell that well. I guess they figured they can't make another Dynasty Warriors game anytime soon because there's too many clones. You understandably don't want to commit to having like 50 new movesets to declone everybody. I'm guessing that's the only reason why Empires exists. They can probably declone like a dozen of them or something and make it more feasible to move on to a new game and not have as much of a massive workload. Because that's what happened with when they went back to the drawing board with Dynasty Warriors 7. You know, it took them like 5 years to declone everybody. People also have clouded judgment, those movesets. A lot of them are really shitty. It's like, yes, on paper it was great that there were no clones, but a lot of those movesets were barely functional. At least in Dynasty Warriors 9. You know, there's a metric ass ton of clones, but most of those movesets you can actually use. It's just the downside is that the game is so homogenized that you can't really enjoy it that much. The only weapons that actually feel unique are pretty much just the DLC. And DLC ones feel pretty unique. Create your own lore gems. Yeah, Rico, I would like that as well. The lore gem system is actually pretty cool on paper, but then you realize it's all RNG. That's the same problem that the Avengers game does. Like, in theory, you could make some pretty cool builds, but because you have no direct control over anything, you end up just kind of using whatever you get, which is not really satisfying in a loot-based game. The fun part of getting loot is actually being able to make some kind of build and kind of craft something around whatever your playstyle is. Which is the same problem that Avengers game has. The loot is really shitty, and you have like no control over it whatsoever. So even though you could make some decent builds with what's currently in the game, there's too many layers of RNG. That's exactly how the lore gems felt. But Dynasty Warriors 9 is not a service game, so it's like it's not really what matters. Problem is Avengers is trying to be a service game and it's a really shitty one. Yeah, and they have a hell of a lot of work to do. This game I'm playing right now is a better service game. This game's got a lot of problems too, especially after the last update, but I actually feel motivated to play this every day. Can't say the same for Avengers. This game actually gives you compelling reasons to log on every day, and they have much better events. The time gating is actually not that bad either.
Nanda.
Come on.
Yes, half of them are really bad, and people get such a raging boner for everyone being unique when it's like a lot of them aren't even fun to play, so does it really matter? It's just the thing that makes Dynasty Warriors 9 suffer is that the mechanics are so homogenized, you can't really enjoy them. But much like with 7 and 8, they got a lot more unique with the DLC. The DLC actually have like legit gimmicks that set them apart from just being the same thing with different animations.
Perfect. You win. Round 2. Ready? Go.
Nope, it crashed. That doesn't matter though. I already hit gold. I don't need to do that anymore for 2 days. Getting a platinum, you have to spend a lot of rubies. You really don't get much back. Once you get the gold, you're pretty much good for the week. Yeah, I don't understand the nostalgia either. I wonder if those people have ever actually gone back and played those games. They have not aged well at all. They've really aged very poorly. The Musou games have actually gotten better with time, not worse. I agree that a lot of the challenge is gone, sure, but mechanics-wise, they've gotten exponentially better. I don't think the people that say that would actually want a remaster. They would realize... They would put it out. They would put the game out, and then people would realize, like, hey, these games are actually pretty antiquated. I think it's important that they be preserved, but it shouldn't be, like, people not wanting to try anything new. I have my doubts those people have ever actually played, or they haven't played the old games in like 15 years, so they have nostalgia for them, but they don't realize that they have not aged well at all. Even stuff like Dynasty Warrior 7 is kind of antiquated in some way, and you go back to the PS2 ones. The only one that I would argue feels better is probably the first 2 Orochi games, because you could tag at any time in those, and there was no canned animation, which in a way is better than what they're doing now, where everything is a canned animation. You don't have as much control over it anymore. People ask for like remasters of stuff, and then it actually comes out, and they realize that they were dumb to want it so badly. Musou in particular has gotten better over time, especially with the amount of enemies on the screen and the mechanics, less artificial difficulty. You know, in the old Musou games, you couldn't cancel out of anything, so a lot of damage was like unavoidable. And that kind of design needs to go away. I'm glad it has for the most part. Where the hell is Adelheid? He's like in here somewhere. Oh, there he is. Alright. Should be able to max him out today. There we go.
すごいわお兄様
I wouldn't say I'm tired of the charge system, it's just that they they take things out of it that have modernized it, like the Pirate Warriors games up to 4 having the dodge offset mechanic, which made it a lot less repetitive. You could actually get to the move you wanted right away instead of having to wait. But for whatever reason, they never let their good mechanics stick, and that's what frustrates me the most. I feel like there's still more that could be done with the charge system, but they don't keep the good mechanics. You know, Dynasty Warrior 6 had, like, universal guard and dodge canceling, and they didn't bring that back for, like, years. It wasn't in the mainline games until 9, pretty much. You could only do it with, like, certain characters. The characters that had the air dashes and stuff. Which I think is dumb. They spend too much time going back to the drawing board and actually thinking about what happens. You know, what works and what doesn't. That's what feels off about Pirate Warriors 4, is you can't dodge offset anymore. So, a lot of the speed type characters, they don't feel that great. Because you have to go through, like, so many square attacks to get to what you want to use. And you can't offset anymore. It's really creepy how Edelhai doesn't talk, because they didn't get a new voice actor. They're literally using the old voice samples from KOF 2003, which was the last game he was playable in. I don't think he's playable in Unlimited Match. I think he's only playable in 2003. Which I guess kind of makes sense, but still, it's like... Would it have been that hard to just get somebody who's already on the cast? Literally using 17-year-old voice samples from the Neo Geo of all things. They couldn't be bothered to get someone else. Yeah, it was called like KOF Online. It looked way worse than this. The screenshots were like just like dozens of Kyo and Ioris just kind of clumped up together in a big room. It looked really bad. It wouldn't have been anywhere near as good as this. I don't think it's much of a loss. Despite this game's flaws, it does have pretty satisfying gameplay. You definitely can wail past all the difficulty, but that goes for pretty much any free-to-play game. Alright, that's done. I already have her special, but another one's good. They don't have much going on in this game right now. There's no update this week. I wonder what the hell happened. Normally there's like an update every 2 weeks. There was supposed to be a stream today. There was no stream. I was like kind of molding my day around that stream, and it never happened. It's just like he just rage quit. Imagine they're probably trying to manage the backlash from the last update. Figure out how to fix the game without pissing off the suits, which is easier said than done, obviously. I'm gonna go ahead and buy this. Just, hold on a sec here. Personal information that you guys already know, because it's just my PayPal account. But you can't take risks with that stuff when you stream yourself spending money online. It's just a good habit to get into. Not showing it, even though it's painfully obvious. All it shows is my PayPal email, which is like no secret. Alright. That's about all I want to spend on this game right now. It's just 10 bucks. Okay, I need to redo this first. Actually, I don't. I think that's actually good. Alright, let's go. Bad sign. Fucking nothing. Oh, I actually got a memory for her. That's not bad, actually. That's not terrible. So I need to work on my gold border characters so I can do all the limited stuff. That's actually quite ideal. Quick and dirty extra character I can use. Oh shit, I don't have any of those. Alright, there we go. Alright, so if I save up the rubies until the next update, which is supposedly not this week, I was under the impression it would be. They usually update it bi-weekly. Probably all fucked up from the last update. You realize they're losing money, which is what happened when they added the awakening system. The exact same thing. Like, don't piss off your paying customers. Stop doing that shit. Because that's what makes people quit. And when you quit, you lose whales, and the whales are what funds these games. Not people like me. Like, oh, our revenues are declining. We need to add more stupid bullshit to this game. It's like, well, that always backfires with this game. People actually stick to their guns and don't spend more money, or they stop playing altogether, which is worse for them. Let's see, how many souls does she have in here? Oh, there's a lot in here. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this right now. There's 100 right there. Alright, yeah, I'm not gonna level her up now. I'll just wait out the week. When I'll have some characters I can use. Yeah, game's kind of, I wouldn't call it boring. It's stagnant right now. It always takes them a couple weeks to fix the backpedal and all the stupid shit they add. Like the awakening system and having it be, like, objectively pay to win. I know at one point they said that they were going to give memories to everybody who spent money on the game before, and that never happened. Which I think is bullshit. I think that would have solved the problem right there. You know, it's like, yes, you added a really big avenue for more money, but you didn't respect the people that already spent a ton. I don't know, it's a mess. I guess if there's no update today, then it's probably not going to be one at all until at least another week. Well, that's a bummer. I was kind of looking forward to new content. But I don't have money to be spending on that game right now anyway. I have to save up what I have. Actually, I do not want to do that map. That map's too big. Let's get a smaller one. Alright, that's better.
おお悪そうなやつがいるじゃねえか。
血を閉じろ。舌を噛むぞ。
すぐに終わる。逃げられると思うな。おめえは俺が始末してやる。手間をかけさせてくれるな。その強さ、こちらサイドの誰がどう変わるのか任務に支障はない。逃げられると思うな。手間をかけさせてくれるな。すぐに終わる。逃げられると思うな。俺に任せる。俺に任せろ。誰であろうと邪魔はさせない。逃げられると思うな。逃げられると思うな。お前らに用はねえよ。終わる。逃げられると思うな。俺たちを笑う奴は許さない。油断すんな。まだ死にたくねえだろ。
敵もやるようだ。
心してかかろう。逃げられると思うな。俺たちを笑う奴は許さない。逃げられると思う俺の敵じゃねえ。すぐに終わる。怖すぎだろ。逃げられると思うな。
Why the hell does this guy not have air combos? It's like their whole big new feature for this game, and like barely any of the characters have it. The ones that don't have it are like way less fun to play. It's not like the implementation of air combos in this is that great in the first place, but at the same time, when your character doesn't have it, you feel really limited and unfun. At least this guy kind of has this little spinny thing that does help a little bit, but still feels like he's incomplete. I heard the new guy is going to be that samurai guy, and he's going to be technique type. The first DLC tech type. Tech types are garbage in this game. Pretty much power and sky are like the best ones.
つまらない相手だった。殺戮武人になりふさわしい戦果だろう。1000人もやっちまうとは新しい時代を生き抜く力はありそうだな。外だ。すぐに終わる。逃げられると思うな。
This guy's alright to play, decent, but
勝利を祝おう。
the fact that he doesn't have air combos makes him less fun than the Barney guy.
よし
Alright, I think I'm gonna take a snack break. I need to make tomorrow's video as well. The anniversary is quickly approaching, and I have not done any work on that at all. I've been really damn depressed lately. I need to get the giveaway ready. I need to get time off from my neighbor, which I'm sure they'll be fine with. Probably just try to spend as much of the day as possible with you guys. I'm probably just going to play a lot of stuff I have on PC, just for ease of use. I do have some things emulated. I might try to grab a couple more things, but with only like 2 days to go. Most likely it's going to be multi-day celebration. I feel with 15 years of content on here, dating back to the PS2, I don't need to cram everything in every day into 1 day. But I'm also kind of like strapped because I'm supposed to be getting 1 if not 2 review keys this week, which, considering tomorrow's the last business day, I don't know if that's going to happen. I might end up with 2 keys tomorrow or none. I don't know what to expect yet, so we'll see. I'm just going to take it relaxed. I think 15 years is a pretty huge accomplishment, and I just want to celebrate it in the least stressful way, because I have not been feeling good mentally. I need to kind of balance that out a little bit, but I will make a video about that on the 10th, which is going to be Saturday. Tomorrow I'm a little bit busy as well. I have a psychiatrist appointment, which is going to be by phone, so it's actually really easy. I mean, I have I have a decent amount of stuff on here. Let me change scenes here really quick. Hold on. I have a decent amount of stuff that's not installed. Probably do, maybe like, might play Final Fight on here. Fight and Rage run. Probably a Streets of Rage 4 run. I'm not derusted on Fury EX yet. Assault Spy. Maybe Z2 Chaos. Probably a couple fighting games too. I might do Grid. I might reinstall Marvel Infinite. Tokiden 2 I could maybe play for a little bit. Probably play Dynasty Warriors 9. 8 if I still have my save file. I don't know if I still have that anymore. I have a couple games emulated. I need to work on setting that up, but I don't know if I really want to. I think for the first day that's actually quite enough. Consider like Assault Spy speed runs, like it's like an hour and 10-20 minutes or whatever. Streets of Rage 4 is around the same time. Fight and Rage is the shortest at like 40 minutes. And then probably do some Muso stuff. Part Warriors 4, maybe some DW9, and whatever else I feel like installing. Roy Orochi 4 too, of course. A lot of the other stuff I don't have access to anymore. I don't have my PS2 anymore. My PS3, I don't even know if my HDCP stripper works anymore. I have a splitter that strips the HDCP, but it's been sitting in my room for like 8 years. I don't even know if it works anymore. I think it would be better for me to just track down the games online that I own and just get the ROMs for them. PS3 emulation is actually quite nice now. It's still not where it should be, but a lot of the games do run better. If you have the PC to run them, it's better. And what's nice is I legally own like pretty much all those games, so still being a good boy. They just announced today that you're not going to be able to buy PS3, PSP, or Vita games from the store anymore, the web store. You're only going to be able to do it on the console, which is like putting those consoles on the deathbed, because The PS3 store in particular is a real piece of shit. It barely works. It's really unstable and slow, and it takes too long to buy anything. The first version of the PlayStation Store they had on the PS3 was like really snappy and fast. But for whatever reason, they decided to update it, like, I don't know, several years ago, and it's like barely functional since then. So, I think from this point on, I'm probably not going to bother using my PS3 anymore. It's more likely that I'll just emulate the games I legally own. It's definitely getting to that point, unfortunately. I can't imagine buying something on there now and not being able to use the store anymore. Even when the PS3 was still active, everybody used the store, the web store, because it was like the only way to buy things and like without it taking like an hour. It's a shame, really. There's still so many games stuck on the PS3. They never got PC ports or PS4 versions. Well, luckily emulation's getting to the point where the lack of PC ports and stuff, it won't be as much of an issue as it is now, or as it was. You know, I've been able to play Scott Pilgrim on emulator for like years now. It's just there's been no official way to do it, but it's like we already own the game legally. I feel like there's no shame in emulation, especially when the companies don't bother to actually preserve their games well anymore. There's so many great games that are like they would be lost media if there was no emulation. I think it's awesome that we're at a point where you have a decent computer, you can play like pretty much anything. But yeah, that's going to be the first day most likely. How many games is that? 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Might play Marvel Infinite. 6, 7, 8. I think 8 games for the first day is enough. Because it was October 11th is when I created my channel. It's kind of at an inopportune time because I have so many games I need to cover and I don't have any help with this stuff, so it's a little hard to balance everything out. But yeah, I'm gonna take a snack break. I actually just need to make one more video before the anniversary, so I might knock that out, and then I think I might play some more One Piece. Try to max out that Barney guy, the guy that turns into the dinosaur. I don't watch One Piece, so I forget their names. Max out that guy, and then maybe play something else. I'll see you guys in a bit. My stomach's actually growling right now. I need to eat something and then continue.